Mitrom and Bandhuvam, this is South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel, where I bring in the iconographic form the abstract concepts of Indian history, heritage and culture to you, and I also post on other presentations. We are now talking about the human ecology, the life and fate of humans on the planet Earth, that is human ecology, human predicament, human dilemma, the human impasse in the bottleneck century. This century is the bottleneck century because there are 8 billion people now. By 2050 there will be 10 billion people, and this is a bottleneck century with restrictions for human life. And today, the part 26, we are talking about the ecological paradigm. Excuse me. Paradigm is essentially a model, a pattern, a way of thinking, a prototype, archetype. Like a paradigm is like a particular idea, ecological paradigm and Cornucopian paradigm. I talked about other opposite paradigm before, that is part 25. You can see here Cornucopian paradigm. The Cornucopian paradigm, you can look at that in detail. And these talks essentially take the basic concepts from the work of Dr. William Catton Jr., you can see, Professor Emeritus at Washington State University, Pullman, Northwest Pacific region of North America, south of 49th parallel, the imaginary line north of the equator that separates Canada and the United States. His two pioneering books, Overshoot book and Bottleneck book. So the basic ideas come from that source, and I make additional the icons and the concepts and present to you. Today we are talking about the ecological paradigm part 26. And if you have not seen my YouTube channel, and this is my YouTube channel, and Dr. J. Reddy, South Asia Maps, you can go there, and there are more than 220 fascinating presentations. And because this is the ecological presentation, I will be putting this in the ecology playlist. If you are interested in human ecology, you can directly go there, but there are also other very fascinating, nearly 220 or so presentations of very high quality, and you can look at them about the history, culture, geography of South Asian region. Ecological paradigm. There is a basic ecological theory, a principle we can say. That means this planet Earth is limited. That means from the circumference of this planet Earth is around about 36,000 kilometers, because the diameter from Singapore to Singapore, if you come back, is around about 12,500. If you make it 12,000 and multiply it by pi, that is around about 3.1 or so, you will get around about 36,000. That finiteness, it imposes on its habitat, territory. That is the global habitat, Earth habitat, where we live along with other biotic community. What is the limit it have? It has a limited amount of water, limited amount of coal, iron, the arable land, the surface area, water bodies, water aquifers, and natural gas and oil and so on. That is the limited. It's not eternal. It is not limitless. That is the basic ecological principle you should keep in mind. Ecological paradigm accept this basic dogma. Dogma is a general standard principle, you can say. Whereas previous, the old paradigm we talked about, that is the Cornucopian paradigm, it disregards it. It doesn't pay attention to that. That's the major difference. So accepts this dogma, ecological paradigm. This icon represents the entire planet Earth that has a finiteness with 8 billion people currently. That is around about 2022 or 2025. So the green leaf represents the ecological paradigm, whereas the previous one, and we talked about this cornucopia, the horn of the goat, represents the Cornucopian paradigm. Ecological paradigm. So the ecological paradigm is put forward by Dr. Catton, and this is not popular yet among the people. Most of the time, Cornucopian paradigm is popular. That is the old way of thinking, because the social elite, political elite, opinion makers, all people will be presenting you only that. So after going through this, you will start thinking analyzing the issues of the humans face in a different perspective. The basic premise of this ecological paradigm we are talking about is that all the life on the planet Earth, that is we, the primates, mammals, other animals and the plant, have a common chemical web. That is the chemical basis of web of the life, all organisms. This depends upon the flow of energy, constant photosynthesis, and we eat the products of the botanical photosynthesis, are the animals like the chickens or the goats who eat that botanical product of photosynthesis, so on. And whenever organism lives in a habitat, it exchanges the chemical substances, like the plants give away the take the carbon dioxide, give away oxygen, and so on. When organisms live in the habitat, they make modifications to the habitat. That means if the habitat is too much changed, that habitat will be unsuitable for the organism. The organism population crashes. That is also basic ecological principle. And humans are not exception to this. Whereas the Cornucopian paradigm accepts that humans are intelligent. Even Homo sapiens, when they coined the biological nomenclature or binomial nomenclature, sapiens means wise. Sapient means wise. Sophistry means intelligent or somewhat cunning way of arguing the thing. Sophistry, sapient, all the common. The Greek and Latin roots. Homo sapiens. So this paradigm rejects that aspect. Humans are not exceptional. That means temporarily, due to our intelligence, we may make certain ecological principles, put them in the abeyance. Ultimately, the ecological principles will be applied on all organisms, including humans. That way, ecological paradigm denies the human exceptionalism and gives the primary importance of ecological principles. It affirms that the principles of ecological concepts are applied to all organisms, including humans. The Cargoist. Cargo means like a delivery coming from the ships to the Melanesian people. Cargoist means especially the people who think that the technological breakthrough will bring a lot of important goodies for humans. That Cargoist expectation. That means even if we adapt this paradigm, it will not all solve the human predicament. What is the human predicament? Human predicament is there are 8 billion people on the planet Earth today. We have depleted all the resources, especially fossil fuel resources, coal and natural gas and oil. They'll be depleted or leaving us very soon. And all our food production, our economic niches, social niches, political niches are built on the fossil fuel basis. And what will happen to our standard of living, our numbers in the coming 1 to 3 decades? That is the human predicament. Even if we accept the ecological paradigm, Dr. Catton says we will not resolve the human issues, but we can mitigate some of the dehumanizing aspects of the bottleneck century we are facing, or the downward slope we are facing after the depletion of the resources. That is about the ecological paradigm when compared to other, its old model, the Cornucopian paradigm. So it essentially accepts the earth is limited in nature. That means along the equator is around about 36,000 kilometers or so. This is a Singapore will be somewhere here. So it has a limited amount of the area, limited amount of the coal, unlimited amount of the oil, limited amount of the arable land, and ecological principles are applied to all organisms, and it doesn't accept human exceptionalism. So it accepts the ecological principles. That is the major difference between the ecological paradigm, that is the new paradigm Dr. Catton brings to us in his fascinating book Overshoot, and compares it the old a Cornucopian paradigm that most of the time you hear in the media, in the social circles. That's what I wanted to talk about today. This is your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy, at South Asia Intellectual Kshatriya channel, education channel. Mitrom, Bandhuvam and friends, if you like the presentation and the content, the way it is delivered, and if you think it is contributing to your thinking, and please subscribe my channel and bring it to the notice of your friends, and put your comments, and see you later in other presentation.